Lauren, our continuing tree tour of Ward 1 here. We're in Westdale, just off Paisley Avenue North. And yeah, this area is significant. The whole West Hamilton area was apparently open oak woodlands with prairie, tall grass prairie here. And so the primary species and tree species in those habitats were oak and hickory, but primarily oak, and the tree behind me is a remnant of those habitats. This is a black oak. Black oak and white oak were the primary tall grass, tall grass woodland oak savanna species in this area here. And yeah, this is a black oak, a remnant of those habitats. It's amazing. It's still here. You don't often see black oaks, remnant black oaks in neighborhoods, at least not in the Hamilton area here. And you can tell black oaks that they have these really deep cut sinuses. This leaf is a bit small. It's probably a sun leaf from the top of the tree. That's pretty characteristic of black oak. Again, this leaf is a little small. It's probably a sun leaf. If you look around here, you'll see larger leaves with those deep sinuses on them. The only leaf you might mistake that with around here is a planted pin oak. Or if you're in Niagara, you might see actual pin oak in some of the neighborhoods, remnant pin oak, but not here. But as opposed to, say, a white oak leaf with those rounded lobes. And we'll go look at a beautiful white oak around the corner here with these rounded lobes. And again, the only other species you might confuse this with is with red oak, but it doesn't have as deep cut sinuses, and there's a bunch of other little characters as well. The bark's quite different. It's more of a reddish brown on red oak, whereas black oak, you can see the bark is quite dark, almost black. And again, if you do look up into the canopy, you'll see those deep sinuses on the leaves, on all the leaves, as opposed to red oak, which you might see some leaves with some deeper sinuses, but generally the whole tree will not be out in leaves with those deep sinuses. Only black oak will have those deep sinuses throughout the whole canopy. And again, the only other tree you probably watch for is pin oak, which is generally a smaller tree. It occurs on clay plains, but you do see planted trees around here. But this is a beautiful, big, open-grown remnant of a black oak, and who knows? It's probably over 150 years old, maybe more. You don't know, but you just have to picture big, open-grown oaks with tall grasses and a sea of wildflowers. So tall grasses like big blue stem, Indian grass, switchgrass. Poet R.K. Kernigan actually described a lot of downtown Hamilton, and I think he means a lot of West Hamilton and the west side of downtown, as a monotony of Indian grass. And so this is in the 1850s, 60s, 70s that he was describing this. So what he was describing is these tall grass prairies that were here historically, and oak savannas, open oak woodlands, oak savannas, and tall grass prairies. There and around the corner is a beautiful white oak. It's a sister species of the oak savanna. It's primarily black oak and white oak that were in those historical oak savannas. And here we have this beautiful white oak back here. It's probably one of the largest in the city. This thing could be 250 plus, maybe older. Yeah, it's probably almost 6 feet in diameter there. It looks at least 5.5 feet in diameter. But yeah, white oak really is the queen of oaks in my opinion. It is a very slow-growing species. It's pretty much the strongest oak that's out there. Grows very slow, generally speaking, quite slow. And that's the leaf of white oak. As opposed, we saw the black oak there with the pointed lobes and the deep sinuses. White oak has the soft, rounded lobes. And yeah, it's a little brown right now, but as you can see in the canopy here, it can color all kinds of pinky reds in the fall, and just an amazing original tree. Again, way older than well, it's older than Hamilton. This tree, older than any houses around here.
Older than Hamilton.
Yeah.
Why is she the queen?
Just because, well, oaks really are thought of as, really the kings of trees, and and as far as the different species of oaks that we have 7 species of oak in Hamilton region, and white oak is the strongest, the largest, the oldest trees, and well, one of my favorites as well. I just love white oaks. I love all oaks, really, but yeah, they're just amazing trees. And so if you have space to plant a tree, plant an oak. Oaks actually, Doug Tallamy, who wrote Bring Nature Home, he did the research on this. Oaks are the best pollinator plants you can plant. Never mind the wildflowers and other trees. Oaks are the best pollinator plants that you can plant.
Have patience, invest, and plant an oak.
That's right.
Yep.
You got it, Marie. Still in Westdale, just around the corner from Paisley Avenue North on Oak Knoll. And Oak Knoll is unique in that it has many original trees, mostly oaks, red oaks, white oaks, some black oak, I think, around, some red maple back here, and then, which is very unusual to see, I only know of a handful of sassafras, original sassafras trees on streets. Sassafras is fairly common around Coots Paradise in the Dundas Valley in the Hamilton region, but to see it as an original tree on a street is very unusual. And here we have one here in all its autumn regalia, and yeah, just pinks and oranges and reds, and let's get closer and look at a leaf here. Yeah. So sassafras is unique in that it has variable leaves. They're often like that, or they might be mitten shaped. They call it the mitten tree sometimes, that kind of mitten shape. Or it can be with 2 thumbs, one on either side. You can see that in that leaf on the ground there if you want. But yeah, sassafras is often found in upland forests with oaks, with hickories, with white pine. Again, it's a very Carolinian tree. It's a southern tree, southwestern Ontario.